Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. I wanted to show you guys just a little, where am I? I got confused for a second. Who is this? Where am I? Um, a really, what I think is a really quick, um, easy, which is most important to me. I'm fine working on something for a long time if it's easy, but this one's easy and quick. So this is a Cocoon Shrug. If you look on YouTube, there's literally thousands of them. Um, this one I'm just doing an erase stitch, which is super simple. It's all double crochets, front loop, back loop. No, front post, back post, alternating. You start with an even number of stitches, an uneven, sorry. You start with an uneven number of stitches. Um, Double crochet into all of them, and then go back and front post, back post, front post, back post. It ends with a half double crochet. Super easy, but I wanted to make this video just to not show you guys how to do the rice stitch because, I mean, if you don't have it by now, you're not going to get it. It's front post and then back post. And I hate this hook. Does anybody else hate these hooks with the handles? I buy one every couple of months. And I'm like, oh, maybe that'll make it easier to crochet with my hand pain and my broken wrist and my inflammation. But every time I get one, I don't like that this part's so short. So I cut this thing off, but it doesn't have a thumb grip. So anyway, um, yeah, I'm going to show you one of these finished. But it's hard for me to crochet in this because I'm back here, my arms are out here. Let me try that again. Okay. So basically what you do is you start out of a chain, and I think mine was 85. I think this is a 10 millimeter. Yeah, this is an 8 millimeter. I thought I was using a 10 earlier, but it all looks the same. Okay, so I guess I'm using an 8 millimeter and L. So that's the texture of the pattern. But what I did, I chained 85 because I needed an uneven number. But if you want to make this, and if you crochet and you're like, oh, I want to make, you like to make homemade, because I like to make homemade gifts. Um, you chain 30 inches, and if you find a one row repeat, then it's super easy because this is the same thing over and over again until I get 30 inches by 40 inches. And when we get there, like say this is how it is, we'll pretend this is 30 by 40. You fold this side in and this side in, and then you'll sew or crochet along this seam, and this will become your armhole. And this is where your neck is. This is where your lower back is. And it just makes a nice kind of shawl, but with armholes. And I'm going to show you one that I finished already. This one is from Fiber Flux. There's not a, I'm like looking to see like what's the right side and what's the wrong side. But um, so this is where you're going to make a pretty big rectangle. This is corner to corner using puzzle yarn. I don't know, sandstone maybe? I don't know the color. But here's where I seamed right here. And then I just had that same shape I just showed you. And then I went around and did a single crochet around my outsides and my armholes. So that's, that's the gist of it right there. But this part, like this would be the neck, and this kind of folds over. So you get kind of an edging. I wanted to do this another row, but I would have had to start a new ball. And I was like, you know what? No, this is only going to get 3 rows. And this was my first time doing corner to corner. I did not like it. I mean, it wasn't once I got the hang of it, I was like, oh, this is easy. But um, that's why I'm just doing a single row repeat on this one. And what else did I want to say? This one was, again, you worked 30 wide and then 40 long. And I was making this and I said, I don't know about this, y'all. I said, this seems a little big. So I put it on, and it is not for me. It is for someone much smaller than me and a woman. I am a 6'4" guy. Um, and it fit me. It was a little short, which I expected, um, because I'm tall, obviously. Um, but it fit me, and I was like, huh. So I put it on my dress form, which is set to like basically your average medium woman. Um, and I put it on the dress form, and I was like, it also fits the dress form. So then I put it back on me, and I was like, it also fits me. Now it on me, it's like a cropped, and it doesn't really cover anything in the front. Like it just kind of went around my arms, but it went across my back just fine. So then my mom came over and I put it on her, and I said, "This fits me and my dress form." And she put it on. She's like, "Oh, I like the way this fits. It fits nice." And I was like, "Okay, so you could be a medium, um, or all the way up to what I'm assuming. I don't know what size I wear in women's, but it's definitely up in the XXX area. Uh, yeah, I'm a man. I'm a man. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna link the fiber flux video because I saw this and I was like, oh, that looks so easy, and it like I like the way it looked on the dress form. Um, and it was just something kind of mindless. And I do like the corner to corner stitch. It's just I'd never done it before, and I was just like, it got me a little confused, but I figured it out. So with this one, I said, you know what? The corner to corner stitch just gave me a giant a giant rectangle that I then folded up in the to make the armholes. And I was like, I don't need to do the corner to corner stitch, which now that I'm like a third of the way through this, I kind of wish I did the corner to corner stitch because it was a lot quicker than this. But I like that this is giving me a nice, thick, plush fabric. I think I used a 6.5 on the tan one, and I'm using an 8 millimeter hook on this. It's the same yarn, just in a different color. But I like the way this is working up. Um, but I'm just going to do a little bit because I started to make a video about this, but it's about I wanted to talk about handmade gifts. Um, a couple years ago, well, no, let's say every year before this year, and this is like not to call anybody out because I'm not going to do that. Um, I made one year I made sweaters, knit sweaters. I don't knit, y'all. I made knit sweaters for 3 people. Um, and it took months, and it was a lot of work and a lot of yarn, and I was proud that I was like, hey, I finally knit a garment, but it was a mess. Um, and then one year I made everybody hats, and one year I made, just making a lot of handmade presents, things that take a lot of time, like especially like crochet. Like crochet, I mean, it's faster than knitting. I enjoy doing it, so it's not like I'm stressing myself out over having to do it because I like this is something that I can do, watch a movie, listen to a book, whatever. Sit with the dog, OUT side. I can't say that because he's right underneath my feet. But if you're making gifts, as makers, like I think it really benefits us to sit down and say, these are the people that I need to give to. I need to give to mom. I need to give to my sisters. I need to give to my friend. I need to give to Sally and Judy and Brian and Elmer. Make a list and be honest with yourself about who actually deserves your handmade gift. And I was gonna like make a list, with fake names because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Um, Not that I wasn't gonna be like this person, but you need to be realistic in what I'm at a loss for words because I'm just like I'm so tired. I needed to film this video because I got to do my mom's nails, and I was like, this table's going to be a wreck, and then I'm going to be crunched for time to get a video out again next week. So, um, I guess what I'm trying to say is I no longer want to give someone something who is not going to appreciate it. They are not going to care whether I spent 3 weeks crocheting them something or months knitting them something. And I think if we're people who make things, like if we make, you make wreaths, you crochet, you do whatever kind of crafts, even if they don't take a lot of time, I think it benefits all of us to just say, hey, no matter what I give this person, they're not going to care. So why am I going to put my body through the stress of doing something, spend the money to make something because um like I think that tan the tan shrug that I just showed you, that was like maybe 20. Well, I think they're the balls of yarn are like $7 each. I used three of them. This one will be a little bit cheaper because for some reason this colorway is cheaper, and if I use three balls, it'll be like $18. And it's not so much about money for me. It's just I can't ever get my time back. Like if I want to give some if I have a budget and say this person's going to have $20, I'm going to spend $20 on this person. Does that person then deserve $20 worth of yarn and the time that I expend? Or can I just go buy them a $20 sweater from Walmart and get the exact same reception when it's gifted to them? I've given stuff before, and it's I've been like, oh, like I will call my family out on this one. I made pajama pants for everybody one year. Um, it was when I was still sewing, and got the pattern, made the pants, did the whole thing, and making pajama pants. Not that big of a deal, but I went and found fabric that was geared towards whoever I was giving them to. Like I gave my mom's um boyfriend, like it had like cooking stuff on it. Like I went and searched for this fabric. It wasn't just like what do I have in my stash that I can turn into pajama pants. And I don't think any of my family actually wore those pants, um, which was the intended purpose of I made you a pair of pants and look, oh, you like the Ninja Turtles and there's Ninja Turtles on the pants. And whatever. Like it's just that's one of the things like I mm, you can tell I don't script these videos. When I gave them those pants and then, when I saw them for New Year's, I was like, "Oh, okay, who wore their pants?" And one person said, "Well, they don't have any pockets." And I'm like, "What do you need pockets for in bed?" Um and it was just like I wasted that time when I could have bought pajama pants, or $5. I don't know. This was a while ago. I don't know how much pajama pants are. I've been wearing the same pants to bed for the past 3 years in different colors that I got on clearance for $1. Anyway, it's not about me being thrifty. It is about who actually deserves the gift of handmade. And it's not to say you don't like those people. I mean, I gave someone a thing that took me a very, very long time to make. This was back when I was well, it was a quilt. I gave someone a quilt, and I don't need you to be like, "Oh my god, I love it. It's the most fantastic." Like I know it's fantastic. I made it. Like you don't it's not an ego thing with me. But for the time I spent and that I gave them this thing that I spent all this time on and they said, "Oh, it's nice. I like it." And then it was not taken care of the way it should have been. And um yeah, it was basically ruined by, just benign neglect. And I said, well, I really need to think about this now is that I gave this person this thing that took me all this time and I spent all this money and it was not appreciated. It might have been in the moment when it's brand new in the sparkly wrap job and it's, all fresh. But are they going to appreciate it? Are they going to use it? Do they care whether or not I sat here and made this quilt or if I had bought one from a store? So all that to say, this is a fun project to make. I mean, I am slow at crocheting because I can never seem to find my groove. But if like you're fast at crocheting, you could get. I think realistically, you could get one of these done in a weekend, like easily, because it's basically a giant rectangle and then a little bit of finish work. Um, but yeah, that's to say, this is a fun project. Also, as holiday season approaches, sit down, have an honest conversation with yourself. And it doesn't mean you don't like the people. I still like the people, kinda. I kinda like them. The people that I've given handmade gifts to that have not. I don't. I don't think. I don't think deserved is the right word. It's an appreciation thing. You know, they're not going to care either way. Like there are people in your life. that are not going to care either way, whether they get the handmade sweater or the one that you just bought from a store. Um, and I know for me, a lot of times I'm like, well, and, it's nicer to give the handmade sweater. Of course, it's nicer to give the handmade sweater. Of course. But you know what? I can't crochet all year long. I mean, I can't crochet for much longer than like 20 minutes at a time most of the time. If there's a good enough documentary, I might be able to get up to an hour, or if it's nice outside and the dog isn't going crazy, like I might push through, but you have to think about who you're pushing through for, especially if you're um, dealing with any kind of limitations, whether that's time or money or physical disabilities, mental anguish that you go through. So yeah, this is just a little quick sit down talk, and yeah, I'm gonna stop doing this now because it is extremely uncomfortable. I'm making this for somebody who absolutely appreciates homemade things, but I don't like them enough to sit in this uncomfortable position crocheting this thing. So yeah, just just something to think about. Just have a little think. Um, yeah, that's it. I'm gonna link the video, or it should have been up in the cards already. I'm gonna try to remember it because I don't want to post about somebody else's pattern and then be like, oh, I forgot to link it. So if I don't link it, somebody yell at me in the comments and I'll link it. But all right, I'm gonna go and rest up because I got to do my mama's nails, and this table's gonna be a wreck. So um, yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I hope I have enough to get to the end of this. Yeah, I do. Okay. I don't want to stop here and then have to attach another yarn, especially when you're using a gradating yarn, because I did it on that one and I can see it and it aggravates me. So thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye.